Hello everyone! Welcome back to Fluent English Power channel. I'm Luna, and today we are going to talk about something very personal yet very universal, our daily lives at home.
And I'm Mason. Hello, everyone. To be honest, Luna, talking about a day at home for me usually involves a lot of sitting, a lot of snacks, and a very complicated relationship with my alarm clock.
I think many of our viewers can relate to that, Mason. But that's the beauty of today's lesson. We're going to learn how to describe every part of our day, from the moment we open our eyes to the moment we finally go to sleep, using natural, fluent English.
This is so important because, in my experience, English learners often know big words for business meetings or exams, but they get stuck when trying to say something simple like, I'm just hanging out the laundry or the sink is clogged.
Exactly. It's the home English that makes you sound like a native speaker. But before we get into the details of our routines, we have a small favor to ask.
Yes, if you want to support us and keep these long-form lessons coming, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow.
And if you haven't joined our family yet, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We want to help you power up your English every single week.
Okay, Luna, let's start with the most painful part of the day, the morning. I know you're one of those scary people who enjoys mornings, right?
I wouldn't say scary, but I am definitely an early bird. I find that the morning is the most peaceful time of the day. My internal clock usually has me waking up around 6 a.m.
See, there it is, 6 a.m. At 6 a.m., my brain isn't even a brain yet. It's just a potato. But you said waking up. Is there a difference between waking up and getting up?
That is a great question for our students. Yes, there is a big difference. Waking up is the physical act of your eyes opening and your brain becoming conscious, but getting up means you actually move your body out of the bed.
Ah, so I usually wake up at 8 a.m., but I don't get up until 8:45 because I spend 45 minutes scrolling through my phone.
That is a very common habit, Mason. We call that doom scrolling sometimes if you're reading bad news, but generally it's just scrolling. For me, the first thing I do when my feet hit the floor is make the bed.
Why? You're just going to mess it up again in 16 hours. It feels like a waste of time.
It's about psychology, Mason. If you make your bed, you have accomplished the first task of the day. It makes the whole room look tidy. If the room is cluttered, my mind feels cluttered too.
Cluttered. That means messy, right? With lots of things lying around?
Exactly. A cluttered room is full of disorder. After I make the bed, I head straight to the kitchen to brew a pot of coffee. I love the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. It really jumpstarts my day.
I'm a tea person myself. I usually stumble into the kitchen, put the kettle on, and wait for it to whistle. While the water is boiling, I just stare at the wall for 5 minutes. That's my morning meditation.
Everyone has their own style. After my coffee, I usually do some light stretching or yoga. It helps me feel limber and ready for the day. Then I check my to-do list. I'm very organized, so I like to know exactly what I need to achieve.
See, this is where we are different. My to-do list is usually just one item. Try to stay awake. But seriously, once I've had my tea, I have to jump in the shower. I find that a cold shower really wakes me up and gets the blood flowing.
Cold showers? You're braver than I am. I prefer warm showers. While I'm in the bathroom, I do my skincare routine. Washing my face, applying moisturizer, the usual stuff. It's important to look after yourself.
I just splash some water on my face and call it a day. But I do spend a lot of time picking out my clothes. Even if I'm staying at home, I like to change out of my pajamas or PJs. If I stay in my PJs, I feel lazy all day.
That is a very good point. We call that getting dressed for success. Even if you're just working from your living room, it changes your mindset.
Exactly. Once I'm dressed, I feel like a human being again. Then comes the most important meal of the day, breakfast. Are you a heavy breakfast eater, Luna?
Not really. I usually have something light, like oatmeal with some fruit or a piece of whole grain toast. I don't like feeling too full in the morning. What about you?
I'm the big breakfast king. I love scrambled eggs, maybe some turkey bacon, and a big glass of orange juice. If I don't eat a big breakfast, I start getting cranky by 11 a.m.
Cranky, that's a fun word. It means being easily annoyed or in a bad mood, usually because you're tired or hungry. Sometimes we combine hungry and angry and call it hangry.
That is me. I am definitely hangry if I don't get my eggs. So, now that we are fed, dressed, and caffeinated, the real day at home begins. And usually, that involves the one word everyone hates: chores.
Oh, the dreaded chores. But chores are a part of life. If you live in a house, you have to maintain it. For me, the morning is the best time to tackle the housework.
Tackle? Like in football?
Not exactly. In this context, to tackle something means to deal with a problem or a task in a determined way. So I tackle the laundry first. I sort the clothes into whites and colors, then load the washing machine.
I'm terrible at sorting. I once washed a red shirt with my white socks, and now I have a collection of very pretty pink socks.
Oh no, Mason. That's the first rule of laundry. You have to be careful. While the machine is running, I usually wipe down the kitchen counters and tidy up the living room. It only takes 10 minutes, but it makes a big difference.
See, I wait until the house looks like a disaster zone. Then, once a week, I go on a cleaning spree. I grab the vacuum cleaner, turn up some loud music, and try to clean everything at once. It's exhausting.
I prefer doing a little bit every day. It feels less overwhelming. Do you ever dust the furniture, Mason?
Dusting, is that when you move the dust from the table to the floor? Because that's what I do. I use an old t-shirt and just move the dirt around.
You need a microfiber cloth for that. It actually picks up the dust. After dusting, I usually sweep the kitchen floor and then mop it so it's nice and shiny.
Wow, Luna, your house must be like a museum. My floor is usually a few crumbs on it for my breakfast. But hey, that's what a dustpan and brush are for, right?
Exactly. It's all about the tools you use. Now, after the morning chores are done, it's time to move into the productive part of the day. For many of us, that means working or studying from home.
Or, in my case, trying to find where I put my laptop charger. Okay, so I finally found my laptop charger under a pile of those pink socks we talked about. Now I'm ready to get down to business. But Luna, working from home is so distracting. Every time I sit down, I see a stray crumb on the floor, or I suddenly feel the urge to check what's inside the fridge for the 10th time.
That is the biggest challenge of being at home, Mason. We call those procrastination traps. To procrastinate means to delay doing something that you should be doing, usually because it's boring or difficult.
I am the grand master of procrastination. I can turn a 2-minute email into a 3-hour project involving a snack break, a nap, and a deep conversation with my cat. How do you stay focused?
I use a technique called the Pomodoro technique. I work for 25 minutes, then I take a 5-minute break. During that break, I might stretch my legs or refill my water bottle. It keeps my brain sharp.
I tried that, but my 5-minute breaks usually turn into 40-minute YouTube marathons. But you're right, having a dedicated workspace helps. I used to work from my bed, but I kept falling asleep during Zoom calls. Now I have a small desk in the corner of my room. It's my office zone.
That's a great tip. Separating your rest area from your work area is essential for your mental health. While I'm working, I also like to have some background noise. Sometimes it's lo-fi music, and sometimes it's just the sound of the birds outside. It helps me get in the zone.
I need total silence. If I hear a neighbor mowing a lawn or someone honking their horn outside, I lose my focus immediately. But anyway, let's talk about the best part of the day. Lunchtime.
The midday break. For me, lunch is usually something quick and healthy. I often prep my meals on Sunday, so I don't have to cook every day. Today, I'm having a quinoa salad with roasted vegetables.
Meal prep. You really are organized, Luna. I'm more of a leftovers kind of guy. If I had pizza last night, I'm having cold pizza for lunch, or I'll whip up a quick sandwich.
Whip up is a great phrasal verb. It means to make something to eat very quickly. But even if you're eating leftovers, it's important to step away from the screen. Don't eat at your desk. It's bad for your digestion and your mood.
Guilty again. I usually eat with one hand and type with the other, but you're right. Taking a proper break makes the afternoon much easier. After lunch, I usually hit the afternoon slump. You know that feeling around 3 p.m. where you just want to curl up into a ball and hibernate?
Everyone feels the slump, Mason. That's when the blood goes to your stomach to digest your food. To beat the slump, I usually go for a brisk walk around the block. The fresh air clears my head.
I prefer a power nap, just 20 minutes on the sofa. But the problem is, sometimes my 20-minute nap turns into a 2-hour deep sleep, and I wake up wondering what year it is.
That's the danger of the nap. If I'm at home in the afternoon, I also use that time to do some quick-fire chores. For example, I'll empty the dishwasher or take out the trash.
I hate taking out the trash, especially if the bag is heavy, or even worse, if it's leaking. Why does the trash bag always leak right when you reach the front door?
That is one of life's great mysteries, Mason. But it's better to do it as soon as the bin is full. Don't wait until it's overflowing. Speaking of cleaning, what about the kitchen? Do you do the dishes as you go, or do you let them pile up in the sink?
I am a piler. I wait until the sink looks like a mountain of ceramic and glass. Then I spend an hour scrubbing plates and wondering why I didn't just use paper plates.
Oh, Mason, that makes the task so much harder. If you rinse your plate immediately after eating, the food doesn't stick and it's much easier to clean. I like to keep my sink sparkling.
Sparkling. My sink is lucky if it's visible. But I do like the feeling of a clean kitchen once it's done. It makes me feel like I've actually got my life together.
We all feel like that. After my afternoon walk and my quick chores, I usually have one more sprint of work. I try to finish all of my heavy lifting, the difficult tasks, before 5 p.m.
I'm the opposite. My brain actually wakes up around 4 p.m. I'm a night owl, remember? So while you're finishing your work, I'm just getting started. I find that I'm much more creative when the sun starts to go down.
That's interesting. It's all about knowing your circadian rhythm, your body's natural clock. But being a night owl at home can be tricky. If you start working late, when do you do your household maintenance?
Well, that's the thing. I'll be typing a script at 9 p.m. and suddenly I'll notice that the bathroom mirror is dirty. So I'll stop working and start polishing the mirror. My schedule is a mess, Luna.
It sounds like you go with the flow. But tell me, do you have any plants at home? Taking care of plants is a big part of my afternoon routine. I go around and water the plants and check if any of them need repotting.
I have one cactus. Her name is Spike. I forget to water her 3 months, and she's still happy. I think Spike is the perfect pet for a night owl like me.
Plants really brighten up a room. They make a home feel cozy and lived in. Along with the plants, I also like to air out the house. I open all the windows for 10 minutes to let the stale air out and the fresh air in.
I should do that more often. My room probably smells like old tea bags and ambition, but opening the windows in winter, that's brave, Luna.
Just for a few minutes, it makes a huge difference to the air quality. So we've worked, we've eaten, we've cleaned a little, and we've watered Spike the cactus. Now the sun is setting and we are moving into the evening.
Finally, the time when I don't feel guilty about sitting on the sofa. But wait, before we relax, there's one more thing. What's for dinner?
So the sun is setting, the work laptop is closed, and the house is finally quiet. This is the time when I start to wind down. But before I can truly relax, I have to think about dinner.
The eternal question. What's for dinner? Usually by 7 p.m., I'm so tired that I just want to order in. Pick up my phone, open a food app, and wait for someone to bring me a burger. It's so tempting.
It is tempting, but takeout can get very expensive and it's often not very healthy. I prefer to cook from scratch. There's something very therapeutic about chopping vegetables after a long day of mental work.
Therapeutic? That means it feels like therapy, right? Like it heals your mind.
Exactly. I put on some soft music or a podcast and just focus on the cooking. Tonight, I'm making a simple pasta with some fresh basil from my kitchen windowsill. It's quick, but it feels like a home-cooked meal.
I wish I had your energy, Luna. If I do cook, it's usually something one pot. I throw everything into a single pan because I hate doing the washing up later. One pan means one thing to clean.
That's a very practical strategy, Mason. After dinner, it's time for my favorite part of the day at home, me time. This is when I do things purely for my own enjoyment.
My me time involves the three S's: sofa, snacks, and streaming. I love to curl up on the couch and binge watch a good series. Sometimes I promise myself I'll only watch one episode, but then the cliffhanger happens and I stay up for three more.
A cliffhanger, that's when an episode ends at a very exciting moment, so you have to watch the next one. I try to avoid that. I prefer to get lost in a book. Reading is my way of escaping the digital world. I also try to do a digital detox starting from 9 p.m.
Digital detox. Does that mean you throw your phone out the window?
Not quite. It just means I unplug. I put my phone in a drawer and don't check social media or emails until the next morning. It helps my brain prepare for sleep.
See, that's where my night owl nature kicks in. While you're unplugging, I'm usually in the middle of a creative project. I might be editing a video or writing a story. The house is so quiet at midnight, and that's when my best ideas pop into my head.
I suppose everyone has a different rhythm, but even for a night owl, sleep is important. Before I go to bed, I have a nighttime routine. I check that all the doors are locked and the windows are shut. Then I go around and turn off all the appliances that don't need to be on.
Oh, I'm the king of forgetting to turn things off. I've woken up many times to find the kitchen light on and the TV still playing. It's a waste of electricity, I know. I really should be more like you and do a final sweep of the house.
It only takes 2 minutes. After that, I head to the bathroom to brush my teeth and maybe have a warm bath. Then I finally hit the sack.
Hit the sack. I love that idiom. It sounds so much more dramatic than just saying I'm going to bed. My version is usually crashing out, like I'm so tired that I just fall into the bed and I'm asleep in 5 seconds.
Crashing out is a very common expression for being exhausted. Well, Mason, it sounds like even though we both spend our days at home, our lives look very different.
That's true. You're the organized early bird and I'm the messy night owl. But hey, that's what makes a home a home. Everyone has their own way of living their best life.
Absolutely. We've used so many useful words and phrases today. Wake up versus get up, early bird versus night owl, chores, binge watch, hit the sack, and digital detox.
I hope our listeners took notes. These are the words you'll hear in every English-speaking household.
And now we want to hear from all of you in our Fluent English Power community.
Yes, it's time for the question of the day.
Our question today is, describe your perfect day at home. Are you productive like Luna, or do you prefer to relax like Mason? And what is the one chore you absolutely can't stand doing?
Tell us in the comments. I'm going to go check if I left the stove on, and then I'm probably going to take another nap.
Oh, Mason. Thank you everyone for joining us today. If you enjoyed this long conversation, please share it with a friend who is also learning English.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support keeps us going.
We will see you in the next lesson. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and keep practicing your English.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.
Goodbye.